Hello and welcome to Dawn Chorus Writes, a Miraculous Ladybug, fanfiction and audio fiction. This is the series Meeting Under the Stars, and I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's listening and supporting this channel. Reached 800 subscribers, which is mental, basically. It's crazy, but thank you so much for all the love and support and everything. So yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out and make sure you smash the like button. Comment down below what you think of the series so far. Where is it going? Starting to heat up a little bit. And subscribe if you haven't already. And let's be honest, if you got to chapter 17, what are you waiting for? Okay, enjoy Meeting Under the Stars. Chapter 17. Marinette's POV. Marinette slammed her hand onto her phone as the morning alarm rang out, silencing it for the next 5 minutes. What did your phone ever do to you? Adrien pulled her tighter against his body as she nestled her head deeper into the nook of his neck. It told me I needed to wake after only 3 hours of sleep, and all I want to do is remain in this spot and allow your heartbeat to lull me back to sleep. Is that all you got? What time did you come to bed? Well, everything needed to be perfect for today, and I couldn't sleep until it was. She sighed as he let out a chesty chuckle at her breath tickling his neck. His fingers stroked the patch of bare skin on her back where her nightshirt had risen, drawing out love hearts and feeling her body relax once more against his. The slight gesture he had started as they spent more nights together, the simple gift of it being Adrien in the bed beside her, and the sensation of skin against skin. The alarm went off again. This time Adrien cancelled it, fearing for the life of the phone, whilst Marinette let out a low grumble. You wait here, my princess, and I will go and get breakfast. You need food in your stomach. The last thing you want is to crash in energy before your presentation. He pressed his lips to the top of her head. Letting out a happy moan, she slid her hand from his chest to his neck. His lips moved from the top of her head to her temple, pressing them deeper into her skin. She arched her head up a fraction and kissed his neck, the shiver transcending from his body into hers. His lips continued to travel down to her cheek and finished on her waiting lips. Wrapping their arms around each other, she felt his love for her refill the well inside of her. She knew no matter what the outcome of today would be, she had this. She had him, and knew she could conquer anything with her love and partner at her side. With the alarm going off a third time, Adrien growled as he pulled away from her. It might be my turn to break the phone this time. He slammed his hand on the front, making sure he hit the cancel button instead of snooze this time. Anyway, I thought you were getting breakfast. She leaned up and kissed the tip of his nose. I was, and then something or someone distracted me. He paused, and a tender expression spread across his face. I love you, Marinette. I don't think there are words that could clearly express how much I have for you, my princess. I think that kiss was a great start. She gave him a playful grin. I love you, my kitty prince. I could spend the rest of my life happy in this moment with you. Your love gives me strength to tackle today, and no matter what, it'll be all right because I have you. She stroked his cheek and stared into his emerald eyes as they glistened, holding back tears. Happy ones, she hoped. He leaned in, ready to kiss her again, as she stopped him with her finger to his lips. But first, I have to get up if I'm gonna win this thing, he moaned, kissing her finger and leant back. Tonight, we will celebrate by nestling up with a movie and me expressing exactly how proud I am of you, no matter what. He gave her a wink, removing his arm from her and slid out the bed. Coffee, tea, breakfast. Thank you, my love. Happiness beamed out of her as the image of Adrien with his messy blonde hair and pajamas climbed down her mezzanine steps, making his way to her trapdoor as he stepped over the disarray of her room. Once alone, Marinette let out a long sigh. Today was the day. All the late nights sketching, planning, creating a presentation that would wow her professor and for the first time in a long while possibly gable a grace. Or would he have another employee holding a tablet out in front and keep himself excluded in that vast house? Either way, she was ready. She had tried her best to be chosen to create a sample outfit for the next round. There was nothing more she could do. After a shower, 2 cups of tea, which she might regret later, and 1 enforced pastry Adrien had insisted she have, she was ready. She glanced at her clock. She had an hour before her presentation. Adrien slipped his arms around her waist from behind and leant his head on her shoulders. You've got this. Your designs are incredible. His breath tickled her ear as he pulled her in tighter. Her fingers traced along the edges of his forearm. Thank you for everything, including your patience over the past week. I know it hasn't been easy along with everything else going on. This is important, Marinette. This is everything you've been working towards. This is your future. She turned in his arms and glanced into his eyes. You are my future, no matter what. But it's nice, amazing that you get me, get how important this is to me. It's one of the reasons why I love you so. Keep speaking words like that, and I might not let you leave. He wiggled his eyebrows as she rolled her eyes with a grin on her lips. And yet, his phone buzzed in his pocket. He freed an arm from around her waist and checked it. It's here. What's here? She raised her eyebrows at him. I ordered you a car for the day, to transport you and all your presentation. He gestured to the display mount boards perfectly crafted. To college, so they won't be... We would struggle on the underground and I wouldn't risk it in a taxi. Thank you. You didn't have to spend your money like that. But thank you. You're so thoughtful and it helps a great deal. One less thing to stress about. She cupped his face fiercely. I love you, Adrien. He burst out laughing at the gesture and the angry love face she made when she was overwhelmed with feeling and didn't know how else to express it but be this. Marinette, you are... With laughter in his voice, he leaned down and kissed her forehead, breathing the words into her skin. A star from the heavens. He pulled back, taking a deep breath. We had better get you organized. The driver will help you carry if you need it, and will wait for you. I would be there with you, but I have a meeting with my professor I can't miss. I know. But I will message you straight afterwards. It was a good thing he wasn't able to be there. The awkwardness of seeing his father, or possibly the lack of. No, this was something she had to conquer alone, knowing he was there for her when it was all over. They arrived at the art college and Marinette carefully removed the 4 A2 size mount boards covered with sketches, fabric samples, inspiration, and her final 5 designs. Adrien stepped out of the car and wished her luck again, and then climbed back in. She had insisted he used it to get to university in time for class before coming back and collecting her. There was no point it waiting for her whilst Adrien took the subway. That would be silly. Waiting outside the studio to be called, Marinette fiddled with a stray piece of fabric. Marinette! A hushed voice called out from her purse whilst no one was about. She opened it up and saw Tiki beaming at her. Whilst Adrien was about, Tiki had to hide more now than ever, and she had missed her little friend not giving her a pep talk or helping her to think out loud. But Tiki understood, and it was only whilst they had to deal with the continued threat. Once they won, she could tell Adrien, Chat, the truth. You'll do great. This is one of those times I don't think you'll need Ladybug luck. Thank you. Marinette heard noises edging closer behind the studio door and shut her purse. The door opened. Marinette Dupang Chang. If you could set up your presentation over there and let us know when you are ready to start. A man stepped back and held the door open for her as she carried her boards inside. Unfortunately, at this time, Mr. Gable Agress wasn't able to judge this part of the competition, but we are grateful to have the face of the brand, Miss Lila Rossi, to be part of our panel. Marinette paused, almost dropping her presentation, glanced at the three people standing in front of her. In the middle was Lila, the girl who had made her life at high school hell and now had the power to make or break her career. Miss Rossi has also given us the great honor to model the chosen design at the fashion show. Marinette had no words. All she could do was smile and nod as she continued to prepare her presentation, battering down the panic and anger at seeing this person again, knowing with Lila, not all was what it seemed. When you are ready, Marinette, begin. The familiar voice called out that sent a shudder through her bones. Thank you for listening to Chapter 17. Chapter 18 will be coming up very soon, so make sure you keep a lookout for that, and make sure you comment down below what you think. Subscribe if you haven't already, and smash that like button. It really does help the channel. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.